you're important. Yeah, exactly. The Titan Games.
This
So it's
is
like,
you. This
I
is you
want
at the
to,
Titan Games. This is not many people get an embrace by Dwayne the
by The
Rock
Rock.
Johnson,
Yeah,
and in order for him to embrace you, you were doing something that he obviously respects. I know he was the host, but tell us about the NBC Titan Games. What were they? How did you get involved? What drew you to challenge yourself that way? And
for sure.
then tell us about this moment.
Yeah. So I actually had in 2000, end of 2018, after the CrossFit Games, that was my last individual year. And I was seeing kind of pivoting, maybe getting to long drive with the World Long Drive Golf and American Ninja Warrior. Their casting team had actually reached out to me like, hey, we're applying for the next season. Love for you to apply. So I was like, all right, why not? So I applied for American Ninja Warrior, got selected for that, got to go run and compete on American Ninja Warrior. And then the same casting team later that year was saying, hey, we're looking to cast for another season of Titan Games. Would you be interested? I was like, why not? This looks a little bit more up my alleyway. I like pulling, heavy weights, like pulling sleds, pushing sleds. I felt like the Titan Games from the previous season that I'd seen from 2019, that looked a little bit more up my alleyway versus American Ninja Warrior. I was a little heavier, had a little bit more lower body strength, still had some upper body strength, but flying around on ninja elements probably wasn't a lot of my experience, I would say. I loved it. I definitely pushed myself outside my environment. I definitely learned a lot and became a better athlete because of that training and because of that environment and that experience. But they reached out to me. I got selected to do the prelims in LA of early January 2020. I think there was a good number of handful of us. I actually knew Matt Chan, who won it. I've known him through years, through CrossFit, through working on seminar staff together, but also competing together. So it was kind of cool to connect with people that I already knew, but got selected at the prelims to go to the finals. So they selected 18 women, 18 men, did the finals. We ended up doing all the filming in Union City, outside of Atlanta. And we were there for about 2.5 weeks doing all the filming. So this was kind of done everything before COVID, before the world kind of shut down. So we wrapped up everything in like mid-February. But it was just an incredible opportunity to obviously test yourself. It was great getting to connect with The Rock and being able to talk to him. And we had a good number of conversations, not only during the competition, but afterwards. And I think what was really cool was that he wanted to create a platform and a way to highlight other people, not only as athletes and individuals, but also the stories, like the hardships they've gone through, the struggles they've gone through, because that makes who we are. Like you said earlier, that failure in buds, like that pushed you to sit and train and improve your breath hold. And if you didn't have that failure, like where would you have been? Would you just flown through thinking, I can do anything? Not saying that's how you were or how people are, but I think it's important that the struggles and the setbacks and the challenges we've had in life will also allow us to reflect on who we are and where we're at. And we either decide to change and adapt and pivot, or we decide to stay the same. And he had actually
Right.
lost his father suddenly right before we started filming, like for the entire season. So that was something we kind of connected, and we had a good conversation about that. Him losing his father suddenly, and then obviously losing my sister suddenly. We connected about that, and I think it's something that for him it was a way to connect with people and connect people's stories to the community. And I was actually just talking to someone today at the gym about the amount of viewership that we had on the Titan Games. I think we reached 50 million viewers through the episodes each week. But what was really unique was that we are reaching almost like 50% women and 50% men. So to have it even between men to female, male to
That
female,
is interesting.
was really cool, because typically shows like this are heavier on the males, or male viewership. To have 50-50 was just incredible. And I think for myself, I want to inspire young women and young men, like of all ages, and I want people to see the value of movement and mindset. I want people to see the value of physical exercise. I think it's sad because we're in a kind of a period right now where physical exercise or PE in class is not a priority. Like growing up, it was part of junior high and high school, at least the minimum semester, and now that's not even a like a topic or an option to have in classes. And I think for me to be in that position to, obviously share a story, but also hopefully inspire young women and young men. And I'd had friends or random people message me on social media, and they're like, oh my gosh, like my daughter looks up to you. So cool. She's cheering you on. She's 7 years old. She wants to go to the gym and lift weights. And I was like, I'd have to fight back tears as I am now.
Yes.
Cause it moves me, because I feel like there are so many things that can pull us in negative directions. And if we can be a positive light, if we could be, someone that can pivot them in a positive direction, like let's do more of that. Let's put more of that on TV. Let's inspire more women and men and children to see physical exercise and movement as a therapy. As because I know for me, going through the passing of my sister, running and going to the gym was a huge outlet for myself. And not realizing that it helped me through that was a